Hey, good morning, my friends, and welcome to Surfside, California. Here we're sandwiched between Seal Beach and Huntington Beach. Some great sport fishing news this morning as bluefin tuna are biting for the San Diego Bay's boats in one-day range, and it's really good. Perhaps, no, not perhaps, the best bluefin signal of 2023. It's great to see it. All of these gelatinous creatures that have been washing up on the beaches, wind sailors. Do they say anything about an albacore bite or the potential for an albie bite? We'll talk a little bit about that. Rock fishing remains excellent. There's a signal of white sea bass. Halibut fishing's pretty good up in the Channel Islands. Whoa, are they cranking on the rockfish up there and getting a little signal on the white sea bass. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, thank you for indulging me in that cup of coffee as we move up on 2 million views. Thank you so very, very much. Wow, I cannot tell you how great it is to have so many of you tuning in every single day and evenings. And of course, we've got so much planned for you this week. First of all, I spent the day yesterday at Santa Ana River Lakes with my friend Bob Gifford and Carrie Gayagas. And man, Carrie is a guide out there. You're going to learn more about him because I'll be putting up a podcast with Carrie here later today. But what a great guy. And man, we were catching lightning trouts and big rainbows, and the sun was shining. It was really a nice day at Santa Ana River Lakes. And of course, we'll be there this Saturday with our friends from the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club. We'll be there to tutor kids on the fine art of trout fishing. And there are a lot of people there way more proficient at that than yours truly. But I'll be there to film it. And of course, I love kids as a teacher. I like hanging out with kids and teaching them about a variety of different things, and it should be great. Knot tying and so much more. There's raffle tickets available, so you can buy a raffle ticket, and with that raffle ticket, not only do you get a chance to win a beautiful Pen Fathom reel, so you can take on these bluefin tuna, but also you could win one of 2 beautiful custom trout rods, and you can get lunch right there with Friedman Adventures and the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club. Tonight, Jeff Jessup live on Friedman Adventures. That's going to be a great show. Jeff will opine on a variety of different subjects, tell you how the Apollo's coming along, what's the Monte Carlo's up to, what the Freedom is doing, the Amigo. Jeff has his fingers in so many pies. He's a dear friend of mine. We've known each other for decades, and it's going to be great to have him on so you can ask him a question or two. Then tomorrow night, we're live from Island Fishing Tackle. That show debuted last week to thousands of viewers. Man, what a great show with Sam De La Torre. Then Thursday, speaking of the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club, we'll be live from the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club. Danny Cadota will be putting on another great show. Danny's so knowledgeable and such a nice guy. And then Bill Wilkerson will be there. Now, Bill is the captain of the Horizon out of H&M Landing and the Malahini. So I'm sure Bill will have some intel for us all and be talking about his new purchase of the Horizon. She is beautiful. We've got a trip in August on board, and that should be a good one. Speaking of trips, let me just tell you that we have 2 in May with a little bit of room on board. The Endeavor. Nobody does it better than Tucker McCombs up there out of Ventura Harbor Sportfishing. That is May the 3rd. And then we are on the Apollo on May the 31st to June the 2nd. Those trips have white sea bass and tons of rockfish written all over them. I'll be there on both those trips to shoot a video. If you want info or you want to sign up, just send me a text, 657-227-6459 before it's too late. All right, let's jump into it. First of all, the bluefin tuna bite, the Polaris Supreme. Man, I'll tell you, they do such a great job. In general, can I make a comment about the San Diego fleet? Man, those guys never quit. They just keep working and working and working. It's been a little tough on the bluefin tuna here recently, but the Pacific Queen went out to a new area and had great fishing, pushing up to around 50 bluefin tuna, a lot of it in the 25 to 40 pound class. And then the Polaris Supreme limits out on bluefin tuna, 2 fish per rod. They're on a nice chunk of fish. It's biting, and it's good news. 30-pound fly line bait has been the best way to get it done, so there is a daytime bite going on. And at night, you want to fish, of course, the knife jigs, I would say, flat falls, whatever, and that 250-gram range. seems to be best of all. But that fish biting in the daytime on a fly line sardine is such a great signal, and perhaps we'll finally kick our season off. I've not been pushing the panic button at all. We've seen the bluefin tuna around the Mexican seiner fleet reach their quota by the 17th of January. They were done for the year, so they will not be seining any more of that bluefin tuna. And it just left us wondering, hey, what's up this year? Why the delay? And it has to be the cooler water temperatures. We pointed out to you that the Long Beach buoy here was at 50 degrees a couple of days ago. 50! That's salmon water. I mean, that is cold. And we continue to see this cold water year, 8 degrees cooler in many areas than it was at this time last year. And that could be having kind of a slowing effect to the start of our season. It could, however, be opening the door to an albacore season. And I have not put out another albacore update, but I will be this week, perhaps even today. The water can't get any better than it is in terms of temperature and everything else. It's perfect for albacore. Way better than my predictions from the last 2 years. Those years look good also, but this year looks exceptionally good. Albacore are a cooler water loving tuna, so we'll see. I'm not going to go on too much about it. I'll save it for when I make another prediction that doesn't come true. But I'm telling you, it really looks good. And those wind sailors that we're seeing up and down the beaches, that's a good sign also, according to Tommy Holland and some other captain that wanted to remain anonymous, saying, we're going to catch albacore this year. Don't put my name on it. I don't want a bunch of people jumping down my throat if it doesn't happen. But he thought that was another good one. So looking good. All right. So we've got that bluefin tuna bite. We'll see what happens when we throw more boats on it. You know, more guys are going to start running out there. And we've got some really nice weather the next few days. So that is looking good. You definitely want to have that fluorocarbon. www.opsonusa.com. Put in FA at checkout. You'll get a free gift and a love note from Greg Brown. And that is the way to make it happen. But bring a variety of tackle. Right now we're on this 25 to 40 pound grade fish. You know, this morning, a little bit later, we might be on the 100 plus pound stuff. So if you have heavy tackle, bring it. You definitely want to have it in your arsenal. Right now, it's not necessary. Things change really quickly in this game, so keep that in mind. All right, let's look at the Coronado Islands, where we see a few yellowtails zooming around there, but they're really not biting that well at all. So boats fishing the islands right now have been loading up on copious amounts of delicious and colorful rockfish. Man, those things are some of the best eating fish in the sea, and we are so blessed to eat fish that is just plucked out of the sea so quickly, something you cannot buy in any fish market. You can't even come close. It's the reason why I only eat fish that is caught, because anything else just doesn't come close. So lots of that rockfish up and down the coast. The yellows there at the Coronado Islands a month ago showed great promise, as they did down at Punta Colonet, which is 120 miles below the border, but they backed off. So I think it's this cooler water. I think it's kind of stop and start, which is pretty typical of springtime fishing. You know, all of a sudden it looks like it's off to the races, then it stops. You get some wind or adverse conditions, and it just puts its nose in the mud. Any factor, any one of many factors can shut a bite off. And then as you move on and the water warms up, things become more consistent and they start to bite better. But that's a great sign on those bluefin. Those yellows should start to bite again. Hopefully it won't be much longer. Down there in the Ensenada area, my friends from Bluefin Sportfishing continue to hammer away at good rock fishing down there. There's a few big bonita also around the Punta Banda area, Todos Santos, and an occasional yellowtail taken in that neck of the woods. There, of course, have got their fingers crossed for that BFT to turn on here very, very soon. Speaking of rockfish, it has been glorious here recently. John Ho, he's such a great guy, sent over these photos. He was on the Dolphin on a recent trip. Nice fish, because, you know, this year we're allowed to fish in the deeper water, and that's where those denizens from the deep come from. Big rockfish, great eating. John, thanks for sharing several other anglers with some great catches. So the bottom bite has been good from the San Diego border all the way up to the Channel Islands and beyond. And as we look at the islands up here in this neck of the woods, we're talking Catalina, Clemente, Santa Barbara Island. No big hits on the white sea bass yet. The blackfish out of Davies Locker had a few fish the other day. In fact, he had 5, so nice hit. And some yacht guys that I am very close with have had some extraordinary catches. I told you about fish, white sea bass that is, to 60 pounds here recently. Those guys work hard at it. They dedicate their entire trip to it. Whereas a sport boat, you know, you got 30, 40 people on there, can only give it so long before you got to go out and do the rockfish things. But these yachts have been scoring good, consistent catches of sea bass because they're able to hang in there until the current gets going the right way or whatever it is. And man, I'll tell you, it certainly bodes well for a great sea bass year this year, and all of that market squid that we have seen all year long up and down the coast at the islands, it's going to pay big dividends here very soon. That's why May the 3rd, Endeavor, May the 31st, 2-day on the Apollo. Those trips got WSB written all over them. Great rockfish at Catalina for the pursuit. I'm just picking a few boats. Most everybody's having good fishing along the local areas, Marina del Rey, good fishing, Redondo, good fishing. In fact, the Redondo-based boats had sea bass and halibut, so those guys are getting on that white sea bass and halibut also out of Redondo sport fishing. That is good news and high hopes that that's going to continue. And they have great rock fishing mixed in with it up there at Santa Barbara and the Channel Islands, just all over it. Island Spirit, Ventura Harbor sport fishing limits on a regular basis on the local rockfish and whitefish and sheepshead. Endeavor slamming the fish. Aloha Spirit, Mirage, all the guys are getting in on some really great fishing. Well, it is kind of a hazy day here this morning, and it is a little bit kind of drizzly, but it's still a beautiful day. And it's beautiful because that bluefin tuna is on the bite. It's chewing, and it's chewing really good, and I am stoked about that. Hopefully that is going to continue here today. We'll continue to update you throughout the day. Jeff Jessup will be on our live show tonight starting at 6 p.m. You don't want to miss that. Ask Jeff any question you'd like. He'll be happy to answer it. Anything from tackle to what he thinks the season portends for this year, to the Apollo, to jumping on our trip with us. It's going to be a great show tomorrow with Sam De La Torre, Island Fishing Tackle, the Danny Cadota show next. And then Saturday, we're at Santa Ana River Lakes with that trout knot tying and fishing seminar for kids, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. There'll be signs up. You can ask around. You can text me. You can text Chuck. Those numbers I'll put up in just a second for you, and you can find us. Present your raffle ticket, and not only do you have a chance to win those great prizes I mentioned, but you also get a great lunch out there at Santa Ana River Lakes. All right, for more information, you can text Chuck at that number right there. Chuck will be happy to get you a raffle ticket because time is running out. You can get a raffle ticket right with Chuck now. He'll fill out your ticket, photograph it, and send it to you. Winners need not be present at the lake. We'll draw the winner at the lake 2 p.m. on Saturday. You don't have to be there for that. You can take care of that with Chuck right now. And if you want information on our charters, just shoot me a text, 657-227-6459. Patreon members, you're the life's blood of Friedman Adventures. You can scan that QR code and become a Patreon member today for as little as $5 a month. You'll help us to produce more content. Rock fishing, outstanding. Still plenty of squid around, a little sign of sea bass. That's only going to get better. Wind sailors on the beach. Does that portend a big albacore year? The bluefin are on the bite. It's just great to be in sport fishing right now as the whole season is starting to unfold in front of us, and it's looking promising. Hats off to the Pacific Queen and the Polaris Supreme down in San Diego, getting on that bluefin tuna. Best of luck to the boys who are out there today. And of course, I'll keep you in touch with all the very latest. All right, have a wonderful day. I'll see you maybe Thursday over at the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club, maybe at 22nd Street Landing. If you're down there today, you see my door open to my studio there. Come on in, say hello, man. Mi casa's tu casa, for sure. Or maybe I'll see you this Saturday at the Santa Ana River Lakes. That's going to be a lot of fun. Take care, my friends. As always, it's my pleasure to spend time with you. 2 million, I think we might hit it by this weekend, and it's all thanks to you. Can't thank you enough. Take care, my friends. One more swig.